Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Grim Reaper bringing you our, I don't think it's the first official, but it's not a consecutive, Patreon Q&A response. Now we're going to be taking also all the polls, so it's a poll question video melded into one. We're going to be doing this in this method from now on. So we're going to give first a shout out to all of our Patreons, starting off with the Samurais, you already know, Monkey D. Luffy and Greenlight, and we go head on over to the Holy Knights, boy, and Phoenix Man. What's going on, bud? What's going on, fucking Goose? You fucking dang, bruh. I shouldn't have cursed in the first 10. Dang, bro, too late. Too late. Around our pirate captains, Joseph. What's going on, Greek? And then we got our Joe Stars. With Tatsu and Draglogia 5. What's going on to the fam? Shouting out to our boys. So for the polls for this week, we asked you guys about the redraws. Specifically, we asked your opinion on redraws. What are your thoughts on the Amai Mask and Child Emperor revisions? Now, on YouTube, the complete votes aren't in yet, and I'm going to leave it up for probably like another day or two. Probably not. No. We're gonna leave it there, but the votes will continue to come in. Right now, we're at 74% for I enjoyed them. I'm excited to see the new twists and turns, and 26% for I think they had some issues. I preferred the originals. Now, once again, I'm leaning towards the latter side, but we're gonna be unbiased for the videos. So let's first let's talk about what the patrons had to say. On Patreon, the results were 3-1. The majority also saying that they enjoyed it, and the minority saying that they think it had some issues. Now, that being said, let's read off what Draglogia had to say in particular. He says, "For the Amai Mask revisions, I didn't mind the changes. I like we got to see Dos S get killed off screen. I do like the new Child Emperor versus Phoenix better. Only because I like that Phoenix Man didn't get killed in a cheap way. Never a big fan of how Phoenix Man died in the first version. Always found it to be a cop-out. I'd rather him survive and have a chance of returning in a future arc than to be killed off in a dumb way, in my opinion. Although it stuck that Brilliant Eagle was removed, or it sucked that Brilliant Eagle was removed. I do theorize that he will return sometime in a future arc. Being able to go into Brilliant Eagle and maybe even above Dragon or God level form, since they mentioned that that's the level of God. That's what the prospects that I'm thinking of as well. That Orochi may get some more competition. That the battle for the Monster King is actually going to be a battle for the Monster King, with Phoenix Man, Orochi, and Garou being present and alive. That's the hopeful part to take out of that, and I'll be making a video about that. I'm gonna get down too about the rise of the Monster King. Cause we saw what really did happen before the redraw. So those are just the potentials. If Braid Giant can be recuperated, and if Phoenix Man actually comes back to actually amplify back in strength, which shouldn't be too difficult. It shouldn't be too difficult for that to happen at all. Somebody should probably try to kill him pretty quickly. Next we have Phoenix Man, the Goose. He says, "Man, it's hard to say. I like the redraws, but especially with the Child Emperor versus Phoenix Man fight, I felt like skipping Brilliant Eagle and the Nova was just a straight loss in my opinion. I guess you could argue that it wouldn't make sense in terms of pacing. The Nova was a very strong attack, and you need to build up the Orochi fight with Saitama properly. But that sequence was just so good that I can't say I prefer the fight without it." 100% agreed. 100% agreed. I don't know about the too strong part. To me, it didn't feel out of place. But I do agree, yeah, like this actually Saitama versus Orochi fight. Compared to the Brave fight, that is. Only compared to the Brave fight, that is. Let me see. Next we have Monkey D. Luffy. Was good, boy. Monkey says, The little discussion between Zombie Man and Child Emperor was cute, and the rope was fun and looked cool. Besides that, it was a straight L for me. We lost Lore, the mural with the 2 ECs. Yeah, man. Forgot about that, man. That was badass, dog. Hype, the Kamehameha became a Hadoken. This nigga, bro. Child sent that shit off, bro. Child really sent that shit off, bro. Fun, a well-paced fight. Epicness replaced by a random penguin. That's how I feel, bro. The panel where Child Emperor sneaks Ticklebug number 3 into the costume is cool, though. I don't mind Ticklebug because Phoenix Man has to lose at some point, and it's not gonna happen with brute strength. Obviously, he seems to have tanked the giant fish strike in the revision. Murata sneaked some plotting. Saitama entered a mental dimension. Okay. Phoenix Man had some intriguing receipts on the hero organization, and that's interesting. But all of it could have been done without removing the best scenes in the fight. I don't hate the chapters, but to me it's a downgrade. I agree 100%. For Amai, the previous iteration had some cool looking pissed Amai faces. Besides that, it had some very important developments that made it worth it. So I liked it. Facts. I'm just gonna agree. Yeah, I think I'm aligning a lot more with Monkey D. Luffy more than anybody else, and then Phoenix. Green Light. Green Light says, I'm kind of in between both. For the most part, I enjoyed them. In terms of the fight, I definitely prefer the previous one. But as a whole, I probably prefer the latest redraws. But there are downsides, like it not being as much of a fight. And also, the fact that Phoenix Man just switches forms without warning. There's no build up to those forms like in the previous redraw. But regardless of if you like the redraws or if the redraws better than the previous ones or not, you got to admit that if season 3 gets a good studio, it's going to suck if the previous one won't be animated. Yeah, man. If we actually do get a good studio for season 3, it's gonna be like bullshit that that fight got removed. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that's probably like the best fight to me besides the Boros fight. It's probably like my favorite fight, bro. The EC fight is up there too, but like not like the Child vs Phoenix fight. That was like, man, I'm sad as fuck, bro. I'll probably I'll probably try and like print those or some shit and like, I don't know, put them in a book myself. I don't know how, like, I'll try and talk to some boys in the Discord to see if like I can like somehow make that idea come to reality. Somehow. To actually get the fight separately in a book. I like the development Child Emperor and Phoenix Man are doing. This is Josh. What's going on, bro? Josh says, I like the development Child Emperor and Phoenix Man are doing. However, removing the Nova and Brilliant Eagle form took away from the fight to an extent, especially given it could have still be placed within the fight instead of the penguin form. I guess it depends on if you prefer the higher scale originally given or more development. Yeah, that's fair. 100% agree. Alright. Now, as a patron for $2, make sure you check out the link in the description, and you'll have the links there so you can join and get to the first part of this video before we get to the next part of the video. But you also get to ask your own question in the poll questions. So starting off, Joseph says, how much longer do you think the redraws will last, considered more have to be done, such as Amai talking to Tots or Child, somehow getting separated from Saitama? That's a good question. I mentioned that in the podcast that I'm not sure how much longer we're going to be in the redraw portion as you're asking. But it's going to be a negative indicator as to how many chapters we get for the rest of the year. We already don't get that many. Even in like One Piece, where they release like most often like weekly besides a routine break. We don't really get that many chapters. We're bi-monthly, and we used to be a monthly series. So on this basis, I'm not sure if it's too crazy to say that it might be a whole another month before like we actually get 1 through 2. It could be 2 months before we get 1 through 2, depending on how fast Monata works, depending on like how many different things have to be released. We should be tempered along that time period if it is to be a month, for example, this hypothetical of a month. It should be tempered with like releases of redraws, which To an extent should be enough or satisfactory, but we want the chapter now, as you saw. At least me, myself, because now I'm seeing that the redraws aren't necessarily going to be favorable, like they were last time with the original Phoenix Man redraws, but we'll see what we can do. We've always trusted in Murata and won before, so this is just a little mark on the record. I don't think it's crazy to expect 2 months, but a month is reasonable to expect, and 1 through 2 coming out in the next 2 weeks is probable as well. Much less probable. I'll say a whole another month of waiting is probably what we're gonna be looking at, and they may not even be addressing this. As I said, 2 months, because there could be other redraws that are required, maybe implemented along the way. We don't know. He hasn't released any messages yet. Next we have Drag Logia 5's question. He says, my question is, what format do you play in Magic the Gathering? Also, what decks do you play? I play Standard and what is it called? Commander and what is the other one called? Where it's like basically everything since like Eldritch Moon and forward. That's like all the decks I've been playing with. I started playing around Kaladesh, but Eldritch Moon, I got a lot of cards from Eldritch Moon and Innistrad. Right now I'm playing with a Yurok deck, a green, black, blue Yurok deck, and I'm playing an Arena with it. I also have a Yurok deck in for Commander. My favorite colors they're really like blue and black and green, mostly. I use white a lot too. I don't really like to use red that much. It's not much of my color, but yeah, I'd say probably like black and blue. Yeah, most often green. I had a really good green and white Yurok or Audric deck before, but it was a while back. All right. And finally, Josh's question. He says, "What's your take? Power scale versus development?" If you're talking about in this instance, then I'm definitely towards the power scale. The power scale portion of the fight, or the original redraw, was much better than this, and I think this is a complete waste. I think it was done improperly. I think the connections are like flawed or flimsy. I think it was really unsatisfactory. I don't like the development for Child Emperor. I don't like that it got resolved and so quickly. I don't like the whole like cutesy thing that they gave him. It really like downgraded the entire feel of the arc, the whole grittiness of it. I don't like how Saitama was acting with Child Emperor. I don't like how Saitama was acting in general, sitting there, excuse me. So, but in terms of like outside of just the story, both. Vagabond, for example, is really development based, heavy development based, but it's through the power scaling, or the power scaling grows through the development. Story based fighting and stuff like that is amazing, but like you have to know how to do it. Sitting there talking the entire time through the fight, that doesn't do it. That's what we saw. I hate when they do that. When you can't solve the problems through like quick dialogue and emotion, like set it up beforehand. Like there are different ways to put up development, and I don't like it when you do it mid fight. One Punch Man is known for those amazing battle sequences. I love that. Alright. So then let's go on to the regular YouTube poll with the boys. I told you the boys. Alright. So up first we have Amaury Gatlier. Or Gatlier? I think it's like Gatlier. Something like that. Gatlier. Amaury says, for me, it's a mix of both. Oh, shit. Hold up. Yeah, we're good. He says, for me, it's a mix of both. I like what they did character-wise, but I don't like the fact that they scrapped cool panels like Amai killing the mercenaries, Diamond Eagle mode, and Emperor Nova. I really hope that the future redraws, especially Saitama versus Orochi, will add more than they remove. Yeah. It seems like you're anticipating Saitama versus Orochi redraws. That'd be that thing. That would be that fucking thing, bro. You're gonna like in a heart. Killer Queen bites the dust. Hey, JoJo boy. JoJo boy. I prefer the originals in both cases, but I know they were changed. Still sucks though. 100%, man. Yeah. Whisk Sheen or Schnee. I don't know how to say it. Schnee. I don't mind them. Just didn't like the timing for them. Feels like we're at the climax of the arc, then we just stop to go edit these older chapters. Yeah, man. It's the price that you pay for being a week-to-week follower. You would think that they paid more attention to that narrative, but in particular, these guys, One Punch, One and Murata, not the case whatsoever. I guess we could give that other tributations to that, give them credit to that, I guess, but no, like, the maintenance that they put towards, like, maintaining the weekly fan base, or the bi-weekly fan base or the monthly fan base is, like, it's straight, it's cool, but, and we do get benefits because of it, with it, or like redraws and stuff like that, because One Pieces won't redraw, but unfortunately, we get delays like this. Sigmux was good, nigga. He says, I like the Amai Mask redraws. I miss the old panel of Amai thrashing that Inky's private squad, but I can do without it. However, the Child Emperor redraws are definitely a downgrade, and people saying it's better are just apologists. Yeah, bro. What's good, Shanks? Shank X! I think it says, I like what they did with Amai Mask, hinting at even more of the weird things that's going on with him. Yeah, I felt with that. But I did not like how they nerfed Child Emperor and Phoenix Man. I love the costume space idea, but I wish it was incorporated into the original fight along with Phoenix Man surviving. I just hope, since he survived, he either gets back into the fight when Tatsumaki brings up the base at some point, or he gets to stay in the series after this arc is over. Yeah, to answer what Zhoniin was saying, that's probably why we had to stop at that point like that, or so abruptly like that, because maybe the next thing that's going to happen in 132 is going to incorporate events that were adjusted previously. So, we'll see. And you're right, though. We may get redraws of things already made consequently because of that. And we may get redraws along the lines of the volume. So whenever a volume comes out, or prepares to come out, we have been getting heavier redraws, where you get the heaviest or even heavier, to put it that way, redraws than we had before, continuously. So the next one may have more redraws because of the great overhaul we did for the Phoenix fight, and all the different threads that were thrown in. Like, every redraw adds more threads or adds more things to edit later on that have already been drawn. So, and it makes stronger connections or weaker connections. Yeah, there's a lot of shit, man. Next, a flower named Guizes. Guizes says, I personally had no problems with the Amai chapter. I thought the other changes and additions were good, although I miss Amai killing that Inky's private squad. I can live with that. Now, the Phoenix Man vs. Child Emperor, my opinion is very divided. In one hand, I found the new additions very interesting. The Phoenix base, Brave Giant's new design, the muscular appearance of Phoenix Man. And we had a lot more characterization of both Phoenix Man and Child Emperor. I like that first paragraph right there. Fuck with it. But on the other hand, the action and intensity of the fight was greatly reduced. Child Emperor was quite nerfed. And we missed two of the most epic moments in the series, Brilliant Eagle Mode and the Emperor Nova. I agree with that part too. So in terms of character development and introduction of new concepts, the new version is good. But in terms of improving the fight overall, this version falls flat. Yeah, that may be on purpose, man. Thunder Thumbs 96, bro. I'm usually on board with the changes, but not this time. The stuff they added was just too underwhelming compared to what they took away from the old fight. Or compare what they took away. The old fight had some of my favorite moments, agreed. The changes just feel forced as well. Doesn't flow well with the rest of the story. The character development they gave to Child and new abilities of Phoenix Man are just kind of lame and weird too. I personally dislike how they made Phoenix Man too buff. Yeah. Whole fight just seemed watered. Yeah, man. Watered down. Edit. I'm on board with the Amai shit though. Facts, man. You on board? Yeah, clap. That's what you on board with. That clap. Garou, the type of guy. Garou says, what's good, nigga? He says, I have major issues. Phoenix Man doesn't have Brilliant Eagle Mode, and he has been nerfed. Child Emperor doesn't have the Emperor Nova. He has been nerfed. And finally, they took away Amai being a ruthless mob. Oh, ripping the squad apart. Nerfed. I actually hate the redraws. Wow, the boy, Kellen Taylor, what's good, bro? Wow, no one liked the new twist, and I have to agree. I didn't really have the problems with the redraws for Mai, but the redraws for Phoenix and Child Emperor is not good. I definitely prefer my fall dog. I can't read that last word. But alright, bet yeah, like, we get the sentiment, bro. Like 100%. Like this is. We can't be the only ones. I don't know how much influence the public in Japan has on one and without the storytelling, but we can't be the only ones that feel this way. And maybe it's purposeful, and maybe they're taking this hit from our side of the fan base in order to get the volume into this method because one has a superior method or superior scheme that we just can't see at this moment. We may even appreciate later on more so. I can put my bets on that in regards to Phoenix Man coming back, but the fact that he has the Penguin form now in replacement of the Brilliant Eagle form, that's what it seems like. Like we lost Brilliant Eagle for this Penguin form, and instead of continuing to like get stronger, he's gonna nerf down back to a chicken. So the only hope we have is that he's gonna come back and I don't know, promise Mo be badass. I'm not sure. Bro. With that being said, though, that's gonna be it for this session of the Q&A. Get your boys in the next one, bro. I think we may do Rising the Shogun tonight. I'm not sure though, bro. Yo!